All right, let's go for it.
Right.
Action.
Getting dragged behind cars is normally a task left to grizzly stuntmen who are willing to get beat up for your entertainment. But how would I go about making this stunt safe enough for just your average actor or even myself to do? To demonstrate this stunt, I'll be recreating an iconic scene from one of my favorite childhood movies, Transformers, where they built a rig allowing an actor to get dragged down the road, giving the effect that he had laid down his motorcycle. We kind of see how they did this in the behind the scenes footage, but I had to figure out how to fabricate some solutions to film this scene, which included something to keep me from becoming ground beef, a way to drag a bike down the road, and a camera crane to film this shot. And all of that on a budget considerably smaller than a Michael Bay action film. What guy doesn't daydream about commandeering a random street bike, riding it down the road in full kit, laying it down to slide between the legs of a Decepticon and then shoot it with a 40mm HE to save the world? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the ultimate male fantasy. This shot has been living rent-free in my head since I was 10 years old. Now, I don't claim to be a stuntman. I really have no clue what I'm doing, but I am on a journey to learn how to make special effects, so take what I say with a grain of salt. I picked up this non-running bike for 200 bucks. The BTS gives us a good bit of info on how they rigged the bike to be towed. You can see the bike dolly is super low profile, and I don't know if they actually even used wheels under it, but I was worried about scraping up the road, so I opted to use some rubber casters I had laying around. And I was able to keep the bike the same height it was in the movie. The tow bar I made had a plate at one end to be strapped to the truck bumper, and the other end had a pivot. I had a couple of these left over from the off-road Jag. This has been super handy. If you guys know where I can buy just a bucket load of these, that'd be rad. All that was left of the bike was a hasty paint job and for me to reassemble what I took off it. All right, this is gonna go together with a lot of hot glue and baling wire. For the butt sled, I tried to copy as best I could what they used in the movie. Although it's hard to tell what they used in the BTS, it looks like two things: a metal pan for the butt and a flexible sheet for the back. For the butt, I had a steel pan laser cut and bent. For the back, I chose a slippery plastic called UHMW because it has excellent abrasion resistance. If you worked on this stunt back in the day and you have any insight, I'd love to hear from you. So the truck would be towing the bike and the bike would be towing me, and to rig the butt sled to the bike, I used Spectra cord. It's a super high strength cord that allowed me to use a really small diameter one that blended really well into the asphalt. Practically invisible, no VFX needed. To test out the butt sled for the first time, I suited up with some hard back and elbow pads and padded shorts. I also made a heavy leather pad, just like what it seems they used in the movie. I probably look insane to my neighbors right now. This was just a slow test to see how the sled did. Don't worry, the real danger comes later. That went really well, but I decided the butt sled was way too big and would show up on camera. Also, I thought it seemed a little too safe and not very exciting. So instead of ordering a new one, I cut it into pieces and sectioned it back together. Replicating anything Hollywood does is not cheap, so I want to give a huge thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. It's available for free now on PC, console, and mobile devices. Take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects, which I really appreciate, place you right at the helm of the most powerful war machines of our time. They have tons of camouflages and historical markings you can customize. War Thunder emphasizes realism. With an unmatched wealth of high-quality content to discover, there's simply no game better suited for fans of military history. Join a worldwide community of over 70 million players in epic PvP battles today, and delve into the breathtaking experience that is War Thunder. I like that they have this cool X-ray feature that visualizes where the armor is weakest and shows the damage of well-placed shots and what components were hit. Play War Thunder now for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile devices. Use my links in the pinned comment or video description to sign up. New players or those who haven't played in 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack on PC or consoles that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. It's available for a limited time only, so don't miss it. In keeping with the Hollywood-sized action on an indie budget theme, I made a 10-foot camera crane using your average consumer gimbal. Normally, you would have both a crane operator and camera operator, but instead my brother would be filling both those roles, utilizing this monitor and wireless remote. For the fulcrum, I utilized a big caster swivel, which worked really well. So I welded up a new stand out of steel and eventually tied it down in the bed of the truck with straps, which made it significantly stiffer. Next, I needed to decide how to mount the gimbal to the crane.
Oh man, there's a lot of vibration.
It quickly became apparent that vibration was gonna be a concern.
If I hang it vertically like this, then I can put a dampener plate, like a shock absorber.
People normally use these vibration isolators, but I decided to save a bunch of time and money by printing one out of TPU. The model is parametric, so you could easily change different variables to get different stiffnesses. I printed a bunch of versions and just eyeballed the best stiffness. I tested with and without using a Sawzall, and I think it did really well at reducing small vibrations. If you think you could utilize this isolator for something you're building, I'll have the parameterized model and STL files available on my Patreon. There were just a few things left to finish up on the crane before testing, like adding a handle for the monitor and remote, adding a way to hold some counterweights, and I also made a tether because that's a lot of money hanging out on the end of a stick.
What speed is that? Give me 8 to 10.
Wow, that looked like trash. There was a lot of side-to-side motion, which came from the isolator allowing the gimbal to sway, and a majority of the vibration was due to my truck's stiff suspension.
Really stiff.
So I scrapped the vibration isolator, and instead of using my old truck, we decided to use my brother's Tundra, which had way more forgiving suspension. And if we wanted to take it another step further, we could have aired down the tires. After finishing the bike, butt sled, and camera crane, there were just a few small effects left to build. I noticed in the movie there was some sparks coming off the bike, so for that I chose to use some ferro rod fire starters.
Oh, that's gonna be sick.
And they needed a spring to press them against the road, so I decided to make a leaf spring by using an old bandsaw blade and grinding down the teeth. This didn't seem like it would have enough pressure against the road, so then I 3D printed these plungers that used a bolt action to keep the rod up off the road while we moved the bike around between takes. Height was a concern underneath the bike, so I wanted to cut these rods down in half, but it turns out cutting ferrocerium is actually kind of sketchy.
Oh my!
However, when we got to the final shoot, the rods were too close to the uneven ground and broke off. That was my bad for not testing them thoroughly enough, so we ended up doing the shoot without sparks. For the grenade launcher, I hand-loaded some 37mm blanks. In the movie, they dressed the road with a bunch of rubble, so I was going to bring a bunch of cork and movie dirt. It looks like that's what they used anyway. But I decided not to just because I didn't want to have to cover an 1/8 mile of road and sweep up after. I don't have a dedicated set deck artist like Michael Bay does. We were getting set up to do the big shoot. Things were going good, but then catastrophe struck. We lost one of my cheap casters. But instead of scrapping the whole day, I chose to MacGyver a fix. I just needed something that the bike frame could drag on.
There's some trash down here. Let's go shopping.
A couple holes and some baling wire later, and we were back in business.
Weapon is hot. Full load. Here we go now. 6-2 a hop. Start in the hole. Ready. And let's roll camera. Rolling. Ready.
All right, let's go for it.
All right.
Action.
That was awesome. Best job ever, dude. Dude, if 10-year-old Tyler could look into the future and see this right now, he would be so pumped. Filming was going pretty smooth. We did get some strange looks and some waves from passersby. All right, before we see how well my shots matched up with the movie, let's see how scraped up everything got. Okay, damage report. Leather pad, how's it look?
It's a little scuffed.
Did my butt scrape at all?
No, you're good.
What about the back panel?
Has a like pinky size hole.
That's it?
Ooh.
Some abrasion here, some abrasion there. Shoot, there's wood stuck to the Velcro from the wood dragging on the road. I think that's not bad for getting drugged down the road at what, 10, 12 miles an hour? Yeah, I know 12 miles an hour doesn't sound that fast, but next time you're driving, open up your door and look down at the ground and imagine your butt sliding on that. I did fall off the butt sled a few times, but never felt any heat or scraping, and I think the butt sled had quite a few more runs left in it. Minimal. We did end up getting some sparks after all, but that's because one of the casters was reduced to dust. That one has seen better days. That is completely ground down. Dude, I am shocked at how well the wood did. It did so much smoother and better than the casters. Dude, that thing is planed down. If I were to build this bike again from scratch, I would ditch the casters and just use some 2x4 skids, bring a couple extra boards and replace them as needed. And now let's see how well my shots match up with the movie.
Something rubbers. It might be a hose.
What is happening? Oh.
All right, I'll chill now. Dude, we want to go home. Hurry up.
Again, thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to play it for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile using my links in the pinned comment or video description. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across PC and consoles, including multiple premium vehicles and other goodies. Available for a limited time only, so make sure not to miss it.